day. It is Wednesday. Um, I know I haven't been live in a while. I apologize, but last week there was there was a school vacation, so we didn't go live during that. Um, but I apologize, but here we are. Um, you know, um, hopefully I'm not missing something here. Um, that's why I wanted to talk about this. But so I'm trying not to offend people. Maybe I've got this wrong. Am I missing something? Okay. So I was in the store yesterday, and maybe I have this wrong, and maybe somebody could, kindly explain it. Um, supposedly people are offended by the Coca-Cola bear. Hey, Candace. Good morning. Um, and again, maybe I have this whole conversation wrong. And please do explain it if I do. But I was in the store, and listen, I live in an area where people are completely racist and rude and things like that. So again, maybe I have this whole story wrong. Okay, like I said, I could have this wrong, but that's what this lady was saying. She was complaining because Coca-Cola wants to remove the polar bear because people are saying the polar bear is too white. Maybe I have this story wrong. I don't know. But let me explain something to you. Yeah, I mean, hey Haggis. I mean, here's the thing. Okay, so I have a little short video on this. Okay, because I'm gonna use this for views. Because why the hell, right? Because that's what we do here on YouTube. Okay, so here's my argument with this is it kind of makes very little sense to me. Um, but people are very offended by the Coca-Cola bear itself. But yet, polar bears are going extinct because they're starving to death. Nah, you don't want a polar bear as a pet. They're not. They're hard to take care of. That's why they don't do well in a zoo. They don't do well in zoos at all. I hate zoos. That's just me. You could like a zoo. I don't like a zoo. um, but that's the thing is like we're putting all this energy into being offended by the cartoon character, right? The polar bear cartoon. But shouldn't we be more worried about the fact that the polar bears are going extinct because we're destroying their habitat, their food sources getting taken away from them? I mean, that offends me more. I take this same energy y'all are putting into being offended over the damn cartoon and put it into trying to save the polar bear. When has okay, that's what I'd like to know. When has Coca-Cola ever done anything for the polar bears? The actual like polar bears in the wild? Nothing. Zip. Hey Eric, that's what I'd like to know. When has Coca-Cola ever donated a single dime to a proper organization that's working on helping save the polar bears? And I'm not talking about the World Wildlife Fund because they're a scam artist. I could talk all about that. Okay, the World Wildlife Fund is the biggest scam of all life in when it comes to helping animals. Okay, they actually support the polar bear hunts, the commercialized polar bear hunts, not the Native Americans hunting polar bears for food, but they support the World Wildlife Fund supports the hunt of polar bears, the seals. Commercialized hunting, like I said, not Native Americans hunting for food and taking care of themselves. But they also support trophy hunting. Mm-hmm. The World Wildlife Organization is not an organization that supports animal rights or welfare. But again, back to you, Coca Cola. When have you ever donated any money to an organization that helps these animals when you are exploiting these animals for your bottom dollar? You put this animal as your mascot, but yet you're not donating any money to help them. That's what offends me more. Not the fact that you're saying that the polar bear is too white, because they're actually really, polar bears are actually, their skin is black, but their fur is white. You only see the fur, not the skin. So that's more of the concern, in my opinion. We should be working on helping the actual animals themselves. Stop exploiting them for cash. Hey, thank you, Haggis. I appreciate that. That's where I have a problem. It's not so much that the polar bear is too white, because that's their actual color. Unless if I'm missing a part of the story that I'm not aware of. But none of this makes any sense. I was with y'all on the Aunt Jemima thing. To me, that makes sense. Okay, I don't really care about that. I can't even eat pancakes or maple syrup anyways because it goes against my diet. So I don't buy it. When you don't like a product, you just don't buy it. I mean, how about if you want to take this another step further? I'm also offended by the chemicals that they put into Coca-Cola, which is killing people. How about that? Is Coca-Cola owned by Nestle? How about Nestle? Hey, good morning, Collins. How about Nestle? Nestle, they use palm oil. Coca-Cola uses palm oil too. 99% of our food and stuff in our home has palm oil in it. Okay, Coca-Cola, you use palm oil. You use palm oil in your soda. Uh-huh. Right? Okay, so you got palm oil in your soda, which is killing orangutans because you know, they have to burn down their forests, but they shoot them dead. They shoot these little animals dead because they're considered pests. So, we could sit here and be offended all we like in regards to Coca-Cola's mascot, but how about we worry about the animals, for crying out loud? That's what I don't understand. Let's be offended enough to save these poor animals than complain about them being on some package. Like I said, unless if I missed this story, but like I said, I was in Dollar Tree yesterday. No, I didn't make a video because this Dollar Tree was like really eh. So I didn't want to make a video. However, I am going to Savers this Saturday, so you'll be getting that video on Monday. But you understand what I'm saying is like I'm for canceling things that make sense. Like Jeffree Star, he needs to be canceled because he's a racist and a rapist. That makes sense. Trisha Paytas, she should be canceled because she is a racist and she does blackface and a whole bunch of other things. Yes. Coca-Cola Polar Bear, if that's the thing is like I hate zoos. Oh, I can't have soda. Oh, I can't drink soda. I can't drink it. But there's a reason. I have a medical reason why I can't drink it, and I had a really bad addiction to Coke. See, that's another thing is they put things in those drinks to make you want to drink more. They're killing people with the chemicals in there. I almost became a diabetic because of Coca-Cola. I mean, that is my fault for drinking it, and I have really great control over my life now where I won't ever touch it again in my life. But, I'd be more offended by that. No, I stopped liking Jeffree. Well, yeah, definitely. So there was some allegations that he was defending. What's his name? His name is Javi. Javi's somebody that he used to tour with. Um, was sexually assaulting minors, and Jeffree was defending said person. But he's also, unfortunately, a lot of past stuff of Jeffree has surfaced. But he's also currently being investigated for, sexual assault. So as a sexual assault survivor myself, um, I cannot support that. Plus, he just did something really dirty and nasty to Trisha Paytas. That hair bite. He's still. So okay, so if you're out of the loop, Jeffree has his hair guy. His name is Hair by Jay. He makes his wigs and all that stuff. So I guess something went down in that group, and Jeffrey just doesn't like Trisha Paytas anymore. Who knows? Maybe he never really liked her anymore. Um, but Jeffrey has that mob mentality. He truly does. And what happens is, I guess some bad business transaction went down with this hair by Jay. And he said that him and Jeffrey talked, and he called Trisha Paytas a whale, a walrus, and a whole bunch of other things, made fun of her mental health issues, and stuff like that. Now, I don't really like Trisha Paytas, and I think she is just not a good person either. But at the same time, calling someone a walrus and a whale is fat shaming, and Jeffrey has been known to do that in the past. So some people just don't learn their lesson at that rate. So, and you know, a lot of people who support Jeffrey are I bet you use. I bet, but I would think Haggis soda in your country is made better than ours. You know, you guys don't use Monsanto. Exactly, Candace. I mean, I don't like Trisha Paytas. Y'all have seen my videos talking about things that she's done. Making fun of a homeless lady. She made fun of a homeless lady. She made fun of Jasmine Chiswell, who I really like. Um, she's obsessed with the D'Amelios for whatever reason. But I mean, fat shaming somebody. See, the thing is, it's just like being, "Hey, Christian, good morning." To me, if you're okay, if you're comfortable with calling Trisha Paytas a whale, a walrus, fat shaming her, attacking her for her mental illness, drugs, and stuff like that, to me, that means if you're that comfortable with calling her those things, a lot of people who support Jeffrey are plus size. I was plus size. I still think I'm plus size in my mind. You know, the fat mentality doesn't really always go away, after losing all that weight. But you know what I mean? So, like, if he's that comfortable saying that about Trisha Paytas, who he knows personally, that doesn't mean he won't say that about his fans. Who knows? Maybe, somebody goes to his meet and greet, and then he turns around and says, "Oh, that fat bitch, she stinks," and things like that. You know what I mean? Yeah. If you're, like I said, if you're comfortable saying the N word, if you say it one time, you're very comfortable, which means you've said it before. If you're comfortable and said that the one time about Trisha Paytas, that means you've said a lot of that about a lot of other people. The one girl that he works with, Lipstick Nick, she's a plus size person. Thank you, Candace. But so you know what I mean? If you say that about one person, you'll say it about another. So Jeffrey, but yeah. But how about this Coca-Cola thing? I'm just, listen, I was with y'all on the whole Aunt Jemima thing. I supported y'all on that because, if listen, that's why I do these videos and these lives, is that way somebody could explain it to me, and if I get it wrong, fine. Because I try to be as politically correct comes, and I know to some people being politically correct is like censorship or whatever. Whatever. I just try not to offend people purposely. So if I'm missing the whole point of this, I apologize. But if we're offended by the actual Coca-Cola bear, then that's a problem. That part is a problem because, like I said earlier, polar bears are going extinct. They're going extinct, and I'm more offended by that. Polar bears are apex predators, and you need them. They are what helps control um, populations of other animals. People in Canada claim that there's too many sea lions or seals. I don't believe that, but whatever. But that's who takes care of the population is the polar bears, the orca whales. Orca whales are orca whales. Orcas are not whales actually. Orcas up in BC are going extinct because we're eating too much salmon. I can't stand salmon, so it ain't me. I don't like seafood. So, that's that, but I'm more offended by that than the color of the bear on the packaging. Unless if that's not what's going on here. Please explain. I want to get it right. Because that makes no sense. Polar bears, their skin is black, but their fur is white. You don't see the skin because their fur is really fluffy. We should be working on saving the polar bear. Save the polar bear. I mean, you keep drinking Coca-Cola, it's got stuff in there that's probably, destroying the planet. I'd be more worried about that. Let me see something. Okay, I have a Dasani bottle. I think Dasani is owned by Coke, right? Maybe not. Okay. I don't normally drink bottled water either because they take water from the reserves and things like that. But sometimes you go out to eat, and that's I can't have soda, so they offer me that instead. But Coca-Cola has palm oil in it. Palm oil. Yeah. Ah. So I'd be more worried about the palm oil that's in there. How about whatever Monsanto throws in there? We should be working on getting GMOs removed from our diet, and palm oil. These things are killing the environment. You know, I don't know much about RONAS, but other illnesses have been caused by chemicals sprayed by um, Monsanto. There's a guy who just won a lawsuit against Monsanto because the sprays that they use cause cancer. Ah, oh yeah, I bet. So you know what I mean? So, let's see what else. Zika virus. The Zika virus was linked to Monsanto. Microcephaly, the babies with the head that not fully formed. That's a side effect due to a chemical sprayed by Monsanto. These are things that I'd be more worried about than the color of the polar bear on the bottle. And like I said, Coca-Cola, they're not donating any funds to saving the polar bear, and if they are, they're not donating it to the right organization if they were doing so. The World Wildlife Fund is a scam, a flat-out scam. The World Wildlife Fund does not take money to save any animals. Same as the American Humane Society. The guy who runs the United States Humane Society. He's got a nickname. His nickname is the $4 million man. You know why that is? That's how much money he makes as a CEO of the Humane Society. This guy makes $4 million a year, but yet we're not really saving very many animals at that rate because he's taking all the money. The Red Cross, the CEO of the Red Cross, that person makes a lot of money too. I'd be more worried about those things than the color of the polar bear on the damn bottle. We need to save the polar bear. They're starving to death. Their homes are destroyed. I'd be more worried about that. Stop it with the palm oil. Put more energy into that idea. What's on the packaging really, sure, Aunt Jemima, that should have been changed. That's no big deal, right? To me, that's not a big deal. If somebody, like I said, if I got this all wrong, then I apologize. But and I'm all for not offending people. If someone says something offends them, I try to listen. But yeah, this is one of those things that just doesn't make any sense. We need to pick our battles a little better about what offends us in that sense. I mean, did the people, did Quaker owns Quaker Oats? They own Aunt Jemima, right? Did they really do that for themselves, or did they truly do that for the Black Lives Matter? Don't know. We don't know. Sometimes these things are done not out of caring, but out of out of publicity. They want to save their company. You don't know. You really don't know if they're really doing it for the right reasons. Oof. That scared me. That's the ladies upstairs. Um, you have to understand. You have to figure out. We have to weigh in the reasons for doing these things. Saying the polar bear is too white, that makes no sense. He's white. His fur is white. I mean, even if you were to change the cartoon up to where you were to show their skin being black, that's not even realistic at that rate. But then again, it still boils down to the fact that Coca-Cola is still exploiting polar bears for cash. They are not using any of the funds that they're making to save the polar bears. Polar bears need our saving right now. The Arctic needs our saving. A lot of animals need our saving. I mean, in a sense, I feel like if a company is going to use a wild animal as their mascot, or to promote their product, they should automatically have to donate those funds to a reliable, reputable organization that's looking to save them. You know. Starkist. Hello, Strive Master. Good morning. You see what I'm saying? Is like, Coca-Cola doesn't donate a single dime to save the polar bear. Starkist tuna, they're taking up all the tuna. And not only are they taking up all the tuna, the whole dolphin safe thing, that's not necessarily true either. Um, you know, there's a lot of companies out there that use animals, cartoon or real animals, to promote their business. Like Geico, they use the gecko. Geckos live in the rainforest. Is Geico donating any funds to save the rainforest? No, but yet they have them on their commercial. You know, doesn't Geico also uses the camel for the Hump Day commercial? Any money going out there? No problem, Collins. You know what I mean? Whoa, what is that? Oh, thank you, Haggis. You're amazing too. Happy birthday to your pup there. Your pupper had a birthday. I like that. I do that for Frankie too. Frankie's got a birthday coming in April. But you know what I mean? Let's take our energy and put it towards something that makes sense. Yes, let's stop being racist. Okay. Like with the statues, I could. Yeah, let's remove the statues. Okay, let's remove them. Okay, let's remove all the statues of what's his name there, Christopher Columbus. Right? That's fine. I don't. That's fine to me. But let's teach history to our children properly. That's another thing. We have to teach our children the proper history of things. Once you remove the statue, then the kids don't understand why. We have to learn from our mistakes. You know, Columbus was a horrible human being. He's not somebody who should be, you know, um, celebrated. The stores still celebrate Columbus because they have Columbus Day sales. Are they going to stop having Columbus Day sales? No, I don't think so. You think they would do the right thing and call it an Indigenous Peoples Day sale? Probably not. But that would be the right thing to do. But yet they probably wouldn't donate a single dime to Indigenous people. That's the other problem. You tell them to make it Indigenous Peoples Day, but they're not going to donate anything to help those folks. No, they're not going to do that. See, that's the thing. It's like we can't capitalize on everything. We should just stop trying to. Once people say something offends them, take it into account. Oh, hope everything goes well for Heather. I know she wasn't feeling well yesterday. So send some positive vibes and love to Heather because she's going to the doctor. She wasn't feeling well yesterday. Poor girl. But just keep that in mind. When somebody says something's offending them, take into account, listen to them. Don't capitalize on it. Don't make it about you. But, in the case of No, Coca-Cola, that's just silliness. Um, Removing the polar bear because it's too white. That's kind of how it goes. I'm more offended by the look of by the fact that they're going extinct. That bothers me. Yeah, it does. It does. We need that. We need polar bears. They're, like I said, they're apex predators. You need to keep the apex predators. They're what keeps the deer down. Well, they don't eat deer, but they eat, the sea lions and the seals and the penguins and things like that. So, people claim that these animals are a nuisance. Which, I mean, me personally, I don't think any animal's a nuisance. The gods and goddesses put them here for a reason. We just keep putting ourselves out there because we keep having more children and children and children. So, but, and then we invade their space. We have too many people on this planet and it's invading their space. That's a problem. It's not the animal's fault that we have to push into their territory, right? I don't think so. They didn't ask for us to be here. We asked for us to be here. They just procreate naturally. You know, we choose to have children. The animals have to procreate. We don't. We have enough humans on the planet to go around, but this is just silliness with the polar bear. It really truly is. It's just silliness. Um, and I'm usually pretty good about these things. I really do support, most messages, but we need to think about that. We need to think about that. We need to think about, saving the polar bear. That's just me. Save the polar bears. They need their home. They need their homes, and we need them. We need them to be on this planet. You know, I'm more offended by the fact that, I almost became a diabetic because I was highly addicted to Coca-Cola. You know what I mean? I was highly addicted to that stuff. I couldn't stop drinking it. That was what was dangerous. They put stuff, that there's stuff in the drink that causes you to want to keep drinking more. The chemicals in there. McDonald's, same thing. I'm somebody who suffered a food addiction. I had it kind of sort of taken care of. It's not officially taken care of. I still have, some food addiction issues. But do you know what I mean? I'd be more worried about that. How about the fact that, America is the most obese country in the world? How about we work on that somehow? There's many ways to work on that. I mean, not everybody can have, gastric bypass or a gastric sleeve. There's that issue. But we should work on what we are putting into our bodies and what is being produced in this country. That's just my thought. Yeah. I like Jarritos, but I can't have any soda at all. I can't have any. I can't have any carbonated drinks. But Jarritos was good. Well, see, that's the thing is Jarritos is made in Mexico. That's exactly it. Those countries don't use the same chemicals we put into our foods. Monsanto is banned in Russia. Russia actually cares about their people and the environment enough to not allow Monsanto to send their crap over there. France. There's none of that over there. France actually has, they actually don't have a lot of cases of ADHD. ADHD is triggered by a lot of the chemicals that's in our food. That's why, my son, he's got ADHD. I try to do as much organic as I can. But see, there's the other problem is we live in a country where, you could label something organic, but, let's say you go and buy a bag of organic apples, right? Only 70% of those apples have to be, you know, uh, one apple in the bag could be organic and the rest aren't. And that could be labeled organic. Unless if you go to the farm yourself and see for yourself. That's what I'm going to start doing more often, is supporting local farms. farmers. There's actually a house around the corner that sells eggs and things like that. So I may have to go see what they charge. Since I'll be going to Manhattan more often, I know that there's a lot of farmers markets out that way during the summer. I mean, I don't know if they've been doing it because of the COVID thing, but we shall see when I go. I shall have to try to make a trip over there in the summertime. I am going to Manhattan next month. Yeah, it's officially almost next month. Look at that. um, I try to go at least 2 to 3 times a year, but I'm gonna try to make that more often. The vlogs do well, and I still can't believe that New York City has no tax on clothes and shoes, but yet out here we do. Now I know why. As a kid, when I was a kid, there was a lot of kids who the parents would take them to New York City to get clothes. Now I know why. Now I know why. Yeah, they go over there because there's no tax on clothes and shoes. I do that. I actually don't generally eat the bread. I can't have the carbonation because, yeah. Yeah, oh, absolutely, Christian. I totally agree with that. So I can't have carbonated drinks because I had weight loss surgery. Okay, I didn't have I had the gastric sleeve. So what happens? So there's two weight loss surgery. Well, actually now there's three. So the gastric bypass, they take your stomach and then they create like a little pouch. They square it off the top and they reroute your intestine. But with the gastric sleeve, your stomach has this curve here that's flat here, but there's a curve. So what they do is they cut that curvy part off, so your stomach looks like just a thin tube. So the carbonation, or at least this is what we've been told. Really? Wow. Wow, I never thought about that. When I go to Jersey, I generally go down to Wildwood, so there's not a lot of that there. But um, I never thought to go to the outlets in Jersey, but we never go to where they are. So with the carbonated drinks, if you have the gastric bypass or the gastric sleeve or the root, there's another one that there's a new surgery, which is it's called the I forget. There's a new surgery where it's the gastric bypass and the sleeve all in one. So what they'll do is, like with the gastric bypass, they create the little itty bitty pouch and then they reroute the intestines. So what they do is with the new surgery, what they'll do is they do the sleeve, but it's much smaller, and they reroute the intestines. So that's usually for the much bigger people. Um, it's still new, and you know they're trying it out. So when you drink a carbonated drink, oh wow, I never thought about that. But so when you drink carbonated drinks, it creates a lot of gas, right? So you'll get it. The gas will get trapped up here because it can't go down, and if it goes down, it'll expand your pouch. It'll actually create your gastric sleeve or your gastric bypass to like blip, get bigger. Plus, not only that, it's loaded. Soda is just like calories you just don't need. Sometimes I'll tiptoe over the line and have apple juice, which is loaded with sugar and carbs. But yeah, definitely support small businesses. Um, I've been doing a lot of. I've been ordering on Etsy a little bit here and there. I'm a little weary of Etsy, to tell you the truth. Um, but yeah. Um, but yeah, so I can't have carbonated drinks. I'm not really supposed to have a lot of sugar substitutes either. See, that's the one weird part of weight loss surgery is they tell you don't drink a lot of sugar, but don't rely on sugar substitutes because sugar substitutes are bad. Um, they actually say diet soda is worse for you than the regular soda because of the chemicals. You can get aspartame poisoning. I've had that quite a few times. I can't have aspartame. Let's see here, I'm just curious. Hopefully this doesn't have aspartame. Nope. You can actually get aspartame poisoning. So if you're going to do like a sugar substitute, you try to stick to one that's like a more natural. Um, yeah. Yeah, that's exactly it, Christian. I do order some things on there. Not always handmade. Sometimes there's somebody on there who sells, something from the thrift store. I have a video where I ordered a box of 90s toys. That's another way. I guess that's another way of people doing their thrift picking. I'll be going to the thrift store on Saturday. Um, I mean, that's what I try to do too. I prefer thrifting for clothes and things like that, just simply because there's actually, if you don't know, plastic is pretty high up there on the garbage, the landfill issue. But actually, clothing is a problem too. Clothing is also a problem because people actually do throw away clothing, and clothing doesn't break down. So since there's a lot of clothing waste along with plastic waste, I try my best to reduce my carbon footprint by not buying clothing in the actual store. Um, they should make clothing like I always had a dream about that is having my own clothing line. True, that's true, Christian. Oh, that just reminds me of another thing, I'm not gonna stop talking about it because I feel like it's the right thing to do. Is there's a lot of people up here. Later, Haggis. Um, just a thought, just while I'm here. There's a lot of people out there who have a lot to say about the people in Texas right now. And while I understand and don't understand at the same time, I guess people are angry with Texas because, because of this, and that. Totally understandable. But us northern people, wow, that's a cool idea. Us northern people really don't have a right to um, make fun of the people down in Texas who are suffering right now. I mean, I'm heartbroken for them because this kind of weather isn't normal for them. The snow and stuff. Oh no, that's just a group thing. Um, yeah, I'm a member of a few YouTube groups. But yeah, um, I don't have a group chat. This is my group chat. But yeah, so that's the thing is I'm a little disappointed with a lot of people out there looking at Texas and they're making fun of them or saying they deserve it. They don't deserve that. They don't deserve their homes being destroyed, being cold, freezing to death. They're not built or equipped for that. And I can tell you, I've lived my whole life in New York. I have not lived anywhere else but here. But I mean, sure, it snows here every. Well, actually, doesn't. In the last couple of years, it hasn't snowed here every year. But you know what I mean? Is that I grew up with the snow. You never really get used to it. You really don't. Oh, it did. Oh, that's awesome. Right. That's exactly it. They're not used to that. But the thing is that I mean, even up here, it's never. It's just never. We never get used to the snow. It's not something we're ever used to. But but our apartments, our houses are equipped for it. We're insulate. Our houses are insulated. Our pipes are properly. I mean, even then, our pipes might be well cared for. But even then, it does. The occasional pipe does burst around here. And we could lose electricity anytime. It doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be. Snow. The problem is all of our power lines are exactly it. They're power lines up top. You know, the power lines are up top. So if we get a good, yeah, exactly, Strive Master. I'm not into that either. But you know what I mean. So like we can lose power. When Hurricane Sandy hit, nobody laughed at us back then, right? We get the hurricanes too. We get hurricanes. We get snow. Tornadoes aren't really a thing for us. It happens on occasion, but you know what I mean. Is that we should never poke fun or laugh at someone's misfortune. That's bad karma, my friends. That's very bad karma to be laughing at these people in Texas. That's just horrible. I mean, there's good and bad in all groups of people. There's probably some really good Republicans out there. There's some excellent Democrats. I'm an independent, so I don't take sides of either or. So, but you know what I mean? Is that there's good and bad in every group. There were Republicans who didn't support Trump. There's some Democrats who don't necessarily like Biden either. Yeah. Oh, right. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Uh, there were definitely no. Really? They said there were sharks in the subway. I mean, that's not impossible to happen if the you know I don't. Well, actually, kind of is. Um, but you know what I mean? It just doesn't make any sense. There's people there suffering. There's children there suffering. Rather than sitting here and laughing about their misfortune, how about we give them a helping hand somehow? Give them some tips that would work. You know, um, and there was. Now listen, I as a parent don't feel like I can judge another parent for their mistakes. There was a story about, I guess a child passed away in Texas due to freezing to death. I'm assuming that's going to happen here and there. But I can't blame the parents. Things happen. I mean, they were not prepared for any of that. I mean, sure, you could build a fire out of something else, but sitting here and blaming parents for making a mistake, that doesn't solve the problem. I mean, okay, sure, there's some situations where that's okay. Like, remember when the little boy, the parents took the kid to Disney a couple of years ago, and they put that kid in the water. They put that kid in the water where it says "Do not go swimming." That's different. That's not an accident. And then you got the situation where the woman was on the phone and the little boy said, "Mom, I'm going to go climb into the gorilla habitat at the zoo." He did that. Unfortunately, they killed Harambe for that. Yep. Yeah, I don't know where everybody is. But you know what I mean? So, um, yeah. So, things happen. There are some situations where parents can't necessarily control certain things. But then there's situations where parents can control things, like I said, the parents who put the kid in the water in Disney. It specifically said, do not go swimming here. They were staying at the hotel. They were staying at the Grand Floridian. The Grand Floridian. You know how bougie that hotel is in Disney? I've never stayed at the Grand Floridian, but I've been on the property because we ate dinner there once or twice. That's a bougie hotel in Disney. Yeah, yeah, it is. They have a pool there. If they have a pool there, why the hell would you put your kid in this water? That makes no sense. What the hell are you doing? Thankfully, they didn't sue Disney because that was stupid. Sure. I don't live my life in fear. I mean, this Rona stuff, I'll be honest, at the very beginning of this whole pandemic thing, I was like that. I said, listen, I got to live my life because I got a higher chance of getting hit by a bus. But apparently that's not necessarily true now. But no, there's times where you have to pick and choose like that. I've lived in New York my whole life. I love New York City, but after 9/11, I was too afraid to go over there. Now I'm not. Nothing's gonna happen over there now. Got a higher chance of getting hit by a bus than something like that happening again. That's the way I look at it. You gotta live life to the fullest. It's like Russell Brand said. He did a video after the Paris attack a couple of years ago, and he said in his video that people think we all think that the politicians don't like the media because the media spreads lies and things like that, right? That's what we think. We think that's what that they don't like. But in a sense, Russell Brand had said that he said that, these things do help these people. It's like the Kardashians, they like any publicity, whether it be good or bad. It's a story about them, right? It gives them ratings. And when it comes down to, the evil people, they say that they love death more than we love life. So what Russell Brand says is we need to love life more, and we need to love one another more. Really? I gotta go over there. Ah. Miami is. People make a big deal. They make a big deal about Miami. To me, Miami's kind of like the Hamptons. It's not really that big of a deal. I hate the Hamptons. Hold on one second, guys. I'll be right back. I'll be right back. Whoops. Okay. All right, coming back, my friends. My coffee cakes. Oh God, dear. All right, we're back. Yeah. I like him. I like Russell Brand, and I think what he said made a lot of sense. I mean, he's very right. We do need to love life more and love one another more, and not because of evil people across the pond there, but we should just love life more anyways. Just simply because of look, we got Ronas going on. I mean, unfortunately, we have to love life, in social distance. There is that. You do have to social distance and do the right thing and wear your mask and all that stuff. Um, but you do have to love life more and hold on to your family more, because we're here today and gone tomorrow. That's it. We're here today, gone tomorrow. We gotta do the right thing by everybody. Stop fighting over the damn politicians too. You know what I mean? Unfortunately, there's two sides, and both sides are not necessarily the greatest. But you're really gonna destroy friendships and family over these two people that don't really care about you. They don't care about you. They don't. They do not. So don't fight over these people. Don't destroy Thanksgiving or Easter. We got Easter coming up. Don't destroy your holidays over these people. They don't really, like I said, they don't care about you. They do not. They don't care. Your dad died of Ronas last month. Think these people care? No, that's a political thing for them. They're going to exploit your father's death for their political gain. So no, I mean, don't get me wrong. I don't think any of these people are really capable of anything. But, plus you also got to realize Biden and Trump, they're just the top. They still got to answer to everybody at the bottom. So, Well, anyways, folks, I am going to end the live here because I got something to do. But I do have a premiere tonight at 5:30. And I have a premiere tomorrow at 5:30. I got a premiere every day at 5:30. So I'll see y'all later. Remember, kindness is free, so spread that, not cooties, social distance, and wear your mask. See y'all later.